Welcome everybody to the Paparazzi Podcast. I am Jedi and he is Mark. And on today's Paparazzi Podcast, we talk weekend pictures. We both turned down a trip to Astro World.
We did.
What you watching? And that is about that. I'm sure we'll find some other fun and games to talk about.
I've been watching a lot.
I've not been watching a lot. But we watch the same thing.
I usually don't watch a lot, but I have been watching a lot lately because there's just been too much going on, and you have to get caught up at some point. You know what I mean?
There is too much TV to watch.
When people start talking to you and you start feeling lost, you have to get into something so you at least can keep up with the conversation.
Yeah, I try and watch new things, but I'm not very good at it. But we should probably do something we are very good at, and that is cracking a beer.
I was trying to predict you to say, but first.
But fast, as always.
Yes.
We will crack a beer, and my wife drank my last beer, so I have scrounged a beer off of you, and I have a Meet Me at the Station juicy IPA from your buddies over at LA Ale Works.
Yeah, so this episode is going to be
weak.
Sponsored by LA Ale Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always seem to not have good. I mean, they're good cracks, but they're always too juicy of
This
cracks.
is so fragrant.
But yeah.
Do you want to smell this before I dive in? How good does that smell?
Oh my God, that does smell so
It
good.
smells amazing.
That's the juicy hazy right there. Sponsored by LA Ale Works. But that will be behind us as well, right here. Boom.
Oh.
LA Ale Works.
It's so
Unfiltered LA Ale Works
good.
again.
Love it. So delicious.
Okay, and mine is a Down Sunset West Coast IPA. It's a cool little graphic on there. It's our you've been over there a lot.
That's what you call
it's
it.
over in Silver Lake in Echo Park.
There you go.
Yeah,
A little swan
with the
boats.
swans out there with
and
the
the
boats.
lilies as well.
Yeah.
They have like a lily fest there every year, I think.
They do, and I think that's what that's for. But
Yeah.
what they're missing is that big old homeless encampment that was all around. But it's gone now.
It has.
Which is good. Okay, ready?
God, they don't crack well, do they?
See, it pops all over you.
Yeah. Maybe we should.
Pops all over you.
We should write into them and see if we can get
Get their cracks better.
a loud crack.
Yeah.
So since we did the last podcast, I think I've worked one day. So needless to say, I have 0 pictures this week. So I don't have any new picks to talk about. So we should just get right into the Mark show.
Okay. Well, the Mark show. It is. Okay. So yeah, I had a plan this week, Jedi.
I love a plan.
I came up with a plan.
Did it come into fruition? It worked?
It did after a while. It did. I'd been touch and go on this thing for a couple of days, but I had a plan because I heard all the productions were going to, airsoft guns because of the Alec Baldwin situation. And I had this idea of going and just getting some footage of any of these, kind of big shootout shows where they do a lot of live rounds and live ammunition stuff. NCIS, which I got, a couple of weeks ago. I think that might be the last pictures and video of that.
It could be the last pics and video of them using live
doing live stuff
round,
ever, which is going to be pretty cool at one point. Maybe we'll sell that as an NFT.
Oh, man, there you go.
But the one show that I really wanted to get was the show that actually went on record first and said, we're going to be the ones to not do live weapons anymore. We're going to be the ones to do airsoft, which is The Rookie.
Okay.
Random, because this show, I know it's a popular show, but it's not real popular for us.
No, there's no... Well, there is a star in it now, right?
Now, yeah.
But Jenna Dewan has joined the cast as a firefighter, I think.
I think so,
I saw pictures of her in a firefighter costume.
Yeah.
Promotional photos, not pat pics.
Yeah.
But the rest of the cast, I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Nathan Film before. He's been in a couple of other things. Maybe he started with like Melrose Place or something. I don't even know, but he's familiar, back in the late 90s or whatever. And then everybody else on the show, though, I don't really have any idea who they are. But I know the show's popular, and it was a kind of a 2-for-1. I could go get this footage and maybe even get the first shots of Jenna Dewan on set. So I went there, I checked it out, and it was kind of good. It turned out that the scene I went to was a big shootout. So
Perfect.
it was just a waiting game at that point where we just had to go, or I just had to go and just listen in, wait for them to do it. They were shooting in this area down by San Pedro. It's an old military installation from like World War II, where there's this old military bunkers and bomb shelters, stuff like that. And it's all still there that you can go and visit. But it's kind of a good shooting place. They shoot a lot of stuff there to get that kind of old school kind of military feeling and stuff. But let's just run the video real quick because I got them, some video of them doing the shootout. And it's just interesting because normally if I was on one of these sets, there'd be a lot of gunfire, like real gunfire.
Yeah, you'd hear it.
Yeah, they'd be like, put your headphones on, put your earpieces in, and it would be a full-on gunfight. But so this is a little different. So we'll try and do it. And I apologize for the rattling of my old infiltrator camera that's happening during this thing. But if you can tell the difference between the rattling of the camera and the shooting of the guns, then you'll get it. Okay. But here, let's listen in and watch this real quick. Okay. So, anyways, so that was a little bit. We're gonna play a little bit more of this video.
It's like pew pew.
So it's like witnessing a paintball match.
Yeah, it's like the guns. They're not they're not the same kind of guns, right? They don't even.
No, they're replicas.
They look like toy guns, and I mean, it sounds like a toy gun as well. Like you said, paintball. It sounds like you're at paintball range.
Well, Airsoft, if they don't already know, are sitting on a freaking gold mine right now.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? Because all Airsoft needs to do now is produce Airsoft guns, but that are exact replicas of every gun that you can imagine, and they just market that to the movies.
Yeah.
So now, like old westerns, stuff like that, old Colt 44s like they had in Rust, that they would only have for like a real weapon. They can only get a real weapon to portray that. Now, Airsoft could just make all these things.
They're going to, aren't they?
So they're sitting on a huge gold mine right now. But yeah, these guns, these guns are actually pretty close replicas to what real guns are. They're obviously going to dub in the graphics of the fire coming out of the gun, or the muzzle flash. But then the sound of it is just going to be. I can't wait to hear what it actually sounds like,
because that sounds weak. I mean, it sounds.
Well, they're not. Yeah, there's no way they're going to put the click in there. Click, click, click.
It's
click,
so much extra work, like post production, isn't it? Like it's going to be so much work.
Definitely. I mean, they probably do it anyway. I mean, there's probably not every movie they use live rounds to do that, so they're probably used to it and they probably do it anyway. But it is going to be more work for that crew. But it's just funny because these guys that are out there, and normally they'd have real rounds, so you would feel like you're shooting a real gun. When you're shooting the little click, 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 click guns, I don't know. As an actor, I just wouldn't feel it as much as I did before.
Yeah, I bet they don't. I bet it does make a huge difference to them.
It does, yeah. So they're going to have to get used to it, and we're going to have to get used to it as viewers to see. And then it's going to be up to them to, whether they can fool us with this stuff. But what I also had a little footage of here is a little bit of them doing their weapons check.
Okay.
We'll just watch a little bit more of this. Obviously doing their weapons check. So that's their Airsoft armor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the armorers really, are going to be considered armorers anymore if they're using Airsoft guns.
Yeah.
But they were showing the guns to the actors. They were showing that it was empty. They were showing that, it's what they have to do.
Well, and I'm sure, with everything that happened on Rust, they're taking extra precautions with all this kind of stuff, even though they are toy guns.
Exactly. So I thought that was interesting as well. A little further on this. Doing a little gun training.
Yeah, just more safety stuff, right?
Yeah, just doing a little more gun training. It's the same kind of stuff they would do before, but just with airsoft now. So it's kind of interesting. And then here's a few images of of the guys using their airsoft guns, which was interesting because they didn't use, what's a Daily Mail? I'm not sure where else it's going to go, but they didn't use, at least on DM, they didn't use the video, which I thought was the thing to do. Maybe it was my rattling camera.
I don't know. It was fine. It was clean. You'd expect that type of stuff to go on, say, Entertainment Tonight or the Inside Edition. Sorry, one of those types of things. Like saying in the wake of the Russ tragedy, the first show to come out with Airsoft is the Rookie, and have a look here at what they've done with it, basically. Yeah, because you've told the whole story in that video.
And here they are refilling the airsoft guns. That's between each scene, they have these guys come out with the air, and then they refill each clip. Because it's in the clip, actually. The air is in the clip, so they actually have to pull the clip out, pop the clip back in, and then go at it,
Huh.
But like I said, airsoft, they're going to,
We should invest in airsoft. Right
that's what I was saying, Maybe we should put this out before we actually do invest in it.
But we don't want any insider trading.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So it's very interesting to see how this is all going to play out and how it's going to play out to the audiences and stuff like that. Because, I was just watching The Matrix tonight, and, those shootouts in there, that's real guns, real gunfire in that. And then moving on, let's see, what else did we do here? Oh, yeah, so I went downtown today looking for a certain set, but I came across another set, and I wanted to put this up here because this is for anybody, especially the tipsters that tip me off, whenever you see a base camp, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of tipsters I get, they say, oh, there's a base camp here, there's a base camp here, and I go, okay, what's it look like? Oh, yeah, well, there's a lot of trailers and a lot of trucks. And you're like, okay, well, is there any big trailers? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Big trailers, bigger ones, black, gray, ones that don't look like the normal white kind of trailers, right?
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, and so I came across a set today, and the way it was set up, I thought it was a good picture to show those people what a good set would look like, or a curious base camp would look like, which is right here. So you've got the white trailers right here, right? You got the white trailers right here, and then you've got the one gray trailer right here with the SUV parked out in front of the gray trailer, right? So you roll up on a set, on a base camp like this should spark your interest right here.
Yeah, I guess you go.
That's somebody, there's definitely an A-lister above the rest of them that are there in the gray trailer. They're obviously waiting for them because they're parked right in front of that trailer. So it's only a matter of time before they pick that person up. So I didn't know what this was. The signs didn't really give that much information on them. And so it was just a waiting game. And it was a spot where I had to just pull up and block the bus lane. Every bus got so mad. I had to block the bus lane downtown, one of the one-lane roads and the bus lane going downtown, where every bus that passed me had to give a honk. Because I'm sitting there, but I have my brake lights on. Like, I'm just sitting there. It's not like I'm just sitting there with my lights off or anything.
But you're still sitting there.
Exactly. I could have my hazards on, but I didn't want to alert the security guy that was across the street that, like, I was just sitting there. I just wanted to think I was just pulled over there for a minute. But it turned out to be like 10 minutes, or longer.
Did you find a frequency?
I didn't find a frequency here. No, once the driver of the car got out, I saw him radioing to somebody, and I kind of held my radio up a little bit, and I got his frequency, which he said the name of the person that was getting in the car, the first name. Just the first name, and they said she wasn't ready yet, but she's about to walk, and they said Maya.
Okay, but I only know one.
You only know one Maya, right? Yeah, I only know one Maya as well, and it was Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yes. So
that is some outfit,
right? So it's kind of cool. The fact that she's wearing a mask sucks.
Yeah,
I hate when they're wearing masks. it just ruins the whole picture, especially when you've got a nice picture like that. But I didn't know what it was. I just shot the pictures anyway. And right when she walks out right here, of course, all sorts of traffic pulls up. A bus. I only got 3 shots of her standing right there, and she stopped for a while.
Yeah.
And a bus stops right in front of me, and then the bus pulls away. The door's closing to her car and drives away.
Did you follow the car to a location?
I knew where the location was because I saw him setting up earlier as I was driving around downtown, and I did follow it to see if I can get her getting out. And she pulled into the hotel, which I couldn't get.
And it's all interiors, right?
It's all interiors, yeah. So I did find out that it's this Untitled Alan Yang and Matt Hubbard, Apple TV. You know, that they do 30 Rock.
Oh, right.
Those are the guys from 30 Rock, the producers from 30 Rock and Parks and Recreation.
So it's going to be something good, something funny.
Exactly. Well, I did read the thing on it, and it was I don't want to pull it out. I'll try and remember, but it's a woman whose husband breaks up with her, but she inherits $86 billion.
Okay, so it's
let me
Jeff Bezos is the story of Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie. Right?
Exactly. No, here it is. A woman's life, seemingly perfect, is upended when her husband leaves her with $87 billion.
That sounds like it's fucking phenomenal. That's great,
right?
Or does he leave her? He leaves with his $87 billion. Or he leaves her with $87 billion.
Or he dies and leaves her with $87 billion.
I mean, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Is she the only star of note in the show?
Pretty much. There was another trailer. If we can go back here. No, we can't. If we can go back, we could see the trailer next to her. It looked like kind of a bigger trailer as well, but I don't see anybody in the cast that looks that's not any bigger than her. But that was that. So I couldn't get anything else, and we'll see if this goes. I haven't seen it yet anywhere.
I don't think I've ever shot Maya Rudolph.
I've shot her a couple of times actually. She was doing that wine movie with a bunch of those comedians last year, where they went up to wine country. I forget what it was called, but it was a bunch of girls that went up to wine country, and it was just kind of an obnoxious movie. Actually, It wasn't that great of a movie, but
I did see. Did you see the movie, I think it was called Barb and Star Visit Vista Del Mar? With her
I don't think so.
And Kristen Wiig.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck, it's funny.
Really?
It's the most stupidest movie ever. But I found it absolutely hilarious. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be right up my wife's alley, and I told her to watch it. And she said she fucking hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's pretty funny. It's ridiculously stupid, but if you've got an hour and a half to kill, it's worth a watch.
Okay.
It's on a bunch of the streaming networks.
Okay. But yeah, it's Maya Rudolph. You know her from Bridesmaids, and it's always good to see her. Actually,
did it make, or you only just put it out?
Yeah, I don't think it's put it out yet.
Yeah.
So, and then and so what I was downtown for was this new Netflix show called Your Place or Mine. Didn't know who was going to be there. This is the one that I did last week, and I tried to get Ashton Kutcher, and he was blocked by everything. You know,
right? So it's a show. It's not a reality show or anything.
No, it's a TV show.
Okay,
TV show. Reese Witherspoon, Ashton Kutcher, and there's a few other people in it as well. It's kind of small.
But that's pretty good. A couple of A-listers.
Yeah, exactly. And I pulled up to the base camp. I had the info on the set. But I came by the base camp first, and as I was pulling up to the base camp, I saw it was a situation just like Ashton, where they had these blockers up against a trailer.
Yeah.
But the blockers were positioned in a way where whoever it was had to walk right out to me. There was still a fence that I had to shoot through, but they had to walk right out to me. So I just pulled up for a minute just to kind of regroup and just see what's going on and everything, and try and get a frequency. And I see the footsteps coming from below the trailer.
Yeah.
Right away. And I had to scramble and get my camera out and everything. I'm like, oh, geez. I scramble, get my camera out, and it's Reese, and she's walking by, and I just get a couple of shots of her through the fence, but my focus was, I didn't have it on manual.
You weren't
like
ready.
I should have with thing. And I got a couple of shots of her going to the trailer, or going to the SUV, I'm sorry, and I knew where the set was, and I had inspected the set a couple of days before, just how they were setting it up and everything. So I knew about this parking structure across the street. So I had to get out and get ahead, way ahead of her SUV. And luckily for me, her SUV had to pull out around the base camp and then come down the corridor and then pull out onto the main street and then go down there. So I'm rushing to get down to where the set is. And I don't know where she's going to be dropped off.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying to think of where I should pull up. Should I pull up, on this one corner and maybe she gets dropped off down the street and then she walks down towards me? But I don't know which door is which. I'm looking at it's a huge set, so I can't think of anything. So I ended up pulling into this parking structure that's across the street from, I think, where she's going to get off. It's kind of a little alley where they've got a lot of stuff set up, but it looks like a place where she's going to be dropped off. I go in there, I take my ticket, I rush up to the first parking spot. There happens to be a parking spot right there.
Love that.
Right up next to the thing. I get out. They say RW pulling up right now. She pulls up. She gets out of the car. And I get this. But see below here? There's a white van.
Yeah.
As she's getting out, look at this. Look at this. Look at how nice she looks right there. Smiling.
Yeah.
Just all this. Imagine that full length.
Would have been so nice.
So all I could get was just her getting out like this because the stupid van pulled up right behind her and they were trying to get into the parking lot too.
So without that van, there would have been a clean full.
It would have been so nice and clean. Her getting out just like, and you can see the next frame. This is after she got out and the van pulled away. Of course, it only had to be there for that 1 second.
Yeah.
And then that's her just walking out and then walking to set. Sent those images in right away because of what happened last week with Thor.
Yeah.
I'm just done with this shit.
No,
I know someone's gonna pull up at some point. She's gonna come out. She's gonna go to lunch, and then she's gonna come back again. There's gonna be somebody there, which there was. Because I went online earlier before the podcast, and I saw that there's some down the barrel shots from another agency of her walking out, but they also took my images as well.
Oh, okay.
So I had 3 images up there. They had 2 images. So
was it the same byline as the Savage?
It was not the same byline. These guys are good guys, movie guys that know how to work, and I was happy to see that they got some sales and we got some sales as well. So
that's good. Everybody wins.
Exactly. When everybody wins, it's good.
Exactly.
But that was it. That was it for my week, and it's not much else to talk about.
No. So. Like I said, I have been off the last couple of days, but I did get a phone call on, I believe it was either Friday or Saturday. Friday, I think it was. I got a phone call. Maybe it was Saturday. I'm not sure of the day of the week, but
Jedi,
get on a plane. No, which I don't say very often, but I have said the last 2 times because I've been off both times. But this time was, for the tragedy that happened in Houston at Astro World.
Well, interestingly enough, too, real quick, I was actually at my daughter's soccer game.
Mm-hmm. So what day of the week was it? Was it Friday or Saturday?
This is Saturday.
Right.
And I'm down there I'm in like Mission Viejo. And I'm at the soccer game, and I'm like, they're just warming up out there, and this is 8:00 in the morning, and I'm looking through my feed, and I see the Travis Scott story, and I bend down and I talk to my wife, and I'm like, listen, you know what world we're living in now when 8 people die at a Travis Scott concert.
Yeah, I'm
like, this is ridiculous, And then no more than 10 minutes later, I get a text message. Do you want to go to Houston?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, when do you need me to go? Right now.
Yeah.
I'm at a soccer game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I had the same thing. So I guess it was Saturday that I got the call as well. And, I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm not back at work till Thursday, like 2 days from now. So I couldn't go. But it was, it's a good story to go and work on. There's lots of angles to go and work.
Yeah.
Again, it's a tragedy. 8 people killed, many injured, and there's conflicting kind of reports of what happened at the moment. I know I did see video earlier in the day of hundreds of people rushing past security who had no tickets.
Really?
Just bum rushing security guards and obtaining entrance into this place without tickets and whatnot. So I don't know if it was overcrowded. And then I read another report that there was a dude stabbing people with fentanyl, with needles full of fentanyl.
I've heard about that too. Yeah,
and that, you know, the people being injected made the crowd surge forward.
Yeah,
hence causing
there's not much more things that are scarier than that.
Yeah, that's terrifying. So I don't know exactly what to believe, what the cause was, but just an absolute tragedy. And you know, it seems like Travis is kind of doing the right thing. He's apologized. He's paying for all funeral expenses. I saw today as well that the place had insurance of $26 million. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to cover all of the lawsuits, because, like I said, I think there were 300 people injured and the 8 deaths as well. But it's just horrific. And there's been all sorts of trouble like this at Travis Scott concerts in the past. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's the fan base or what it is, really.
Well, when it comes down to it, it's got to be the fan base. I mean, because, you know, I was thinking to myself when this happened, I'm like, you know, who's going to be the people, let alone hundreds or thousands of people, that are surging towards the stage at a Travis Scott concert anyway? Like, you know, I mean, you've been to concerts before. I understand the people that used to try and maneuver their way up to the front of the stage. You would just kind of go through people and you would kind of maneuver up and all this stuff. But the surges of people pushing.
Could this be the end of festivals?
I mean, if this happens anymore, then yes.
Is it just going to be ticketed seats, like actual seats?
Yeah, it's going to be sectioned off. It's going to be people. They're not going to have a general admission section where there's a thing at the bottom. Because, I mean, the only thing that can be compared to this is like a mosh pit, right?
Yeah.
But mosh pits were never surges of people pushing on each other.
No.
Yes, it was dudes running around and knocking each other in the face with their elbows. But it was never just like, oh my gosh, this whole surge of people just push forward on the people in front and kill them.
Yeah, I think I saw today that Travis was supposed to headline Coachella next year.
God,
Coachella's
fallen off.
And I think he'd already been taken off the bill and replaced with Post Malone. It might not be Coachella, but I did see that today that's happening at one of the concerts. But it was super scary, and
especially for the people that are you know, fighting for their lives right now. You know, I've heard of 14-year-olds that got trampled.
I think either a 14-year-old or a 9-year-old was the youngest casualty.
Yeah, well, whoever brought the 9-year-old, that's on your shit right there. You know, 14-year-old too.
Yeah,
14-year-old and a 9-year-old should not be at a fucking Travis Scott show, no matter what. I don't care. You know, that's just bad fucking parenting. As far as
I've actually been at a show before that Travis was a part of. Back in 2016, I got a call. Hey Jedi, I was asked to go. Well, not asked. I was told. We've got you a ticket to go and see Rihanna at the Forum.
Okay.
And we want you to photograph it. I'm like, okay, great. You know, I enjoy photographing concerts. Usually, I'm 15, 20 rows deep, mingling in with other people. Like, no security can see me, nobody can see me, just nice and discreet.
Yeah.
We've got you a front row ticket to this Rihanna show. We spent $800 on this ticket.
Wow.
Shoot the shit out of it, get as much as you can, blah, blah, blah. And I said, front row is a bit too fucking much, And I'm in there with an infiltrator.
Yeah.
And, that thing is good for, 45 feet, kind of. You can be 30 rows back and get great pictures with this infiltrator. So I was front row at this concert, and Travis opened the concert.
Okay.
And I was too close to get pictures.
Okay.
Every time I lifted up the infiltrator, and I was like, this is an iPhone picture. I was hosing with the infiltrator. Security just like, what are you doing? You're obviously not a fan. What are you here? You're a pap, aren't you? You're a pap.
Well, an infiltrator is kind of a fan.
No, I'm a big fan. And the guy's like, you haven't even sang a word. You haven't You haven't even danced or done it. You're just taking
That's
pictures.
good. You get to actually have a conversation with them.
So I literally rattled off like one frame of Travis after my infiltrator got kind of blocked.
Okay.
And then when Rihanna came on, I was doing the same thing. Like this next picture, this is me. She's standing in front of me. This is an iPhone picture as well. This is a 2016.
Because you might as well go with an iPhone if you're going to be that close anyway.
It's an iPhone pic from 6 years ago, so it's not amazing quality. But the security were literally stood right in front of my face because he knew what I was doing. I was just nonstop like this with the fucking infiltrator.
Yeah,
and he's like, "You can't do this anymore. You cannot do this."
Yeah, if you just took like one picture and then like you pulled it up maybe 10 minutes later and took another picture, it's one thing. But if you're just sitting there rattling off,
which is what you've got to do.
Hosing it, man.
Yeah, hosing it. But that was a complete waste of $800. They should have spent $45 and.
So they didn't sell the iPhone pictures, is what you're saying?
I didn't even put them in. But yeah, that was my Travis Scott concert experience. But I didn't even know who he was in 2016.
Well, no one. I mean, yes, people knew who he was, but I mean, I had no clue either. You know,
and I still, to this day, I can't name a single song of his.
Well, okay, tell me that. I know, me neither.
It's not my cup of tea.
Tell me this, Jedi. Now, Travis Scott, would he be the caliber he is right now without Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think he would be?
He's got a huge fan base.
Yeah, but do you think
I don't think
that has to do with her?
No, not at all.
No?
He was his own person before Kylie. And I'm sure he's had like a few more listeners or followers on social because of that, just because of the interest, trying to grab a glimpse of Stormy on his Instagram or something. But like this guy, he's huge. He's humongous. Like he has his own fucking private jet. He probably had a private jet before Kylie.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Well, let's do a celebrity net worth on
of the
Travis.
pair of them.
Well,
we know Kylie's worth.
She's billionaire
because of billions.
But I would like to know what he's worth.
He's going to be worth upwards of 200 mil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Think so?
He has his own private jet, and they're not cheap. It's over 200 million, I have no doubt. Have you got a guess before it comes up?
Yeah.
You're going to go under, right?
Well, I mean, the way you're talking, it sounds like I should go over.
He's got stupid money.
I'm going to say, because I don't know. Obviously she's a billionaire. He's got crowds that are surging forward.
I mean, he had his own
push people.
He's got his own. What are those fucking drinks?
Oh, he's got a line of something.
Yeah, what are those drinks called? We talked about them last week.
Oh, not the energy drinks,
but
the
fucking the
seltzers.
Seltzers.
Yeah,
Cactus Jack or something like that.
Okay.
And he had his own.
That makes a difference.
He had his own McDonald's meal for a while as well.
And I know how much he made off that.
How much?
He made $20 million.
There you go.
Off of that freaking meal, dude.
And it was
you think he goes and eats that?
It was just a cheeseburger with fries, like hot mustard and a fucking Sprite or something like that.
It was a Sprite. It was a cheeseburger.
Barbecue sauce.
It was a quarter pounder with bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Large
and
fries.
the fries with barbecue sauce.
Yeah. And just for lending his name to that, they gave him 20 mil.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Okay, so then so if you made $20 million on that, I think you're on it with the 200 mil.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna go higher than.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with 220 mil.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it close and do that. What?
If it's less than that, it's bullshit.
We go with what Celebrity Net Worth says on this, not anything else, not Yahoo or anything else. We go Celebrity Net Worth, and Celebrity Net Worth, $60 million.
Nah, it's bullshit. I don't believe that one.
Well,
is there anything else that says any more?
That's what. No, they all say $60 million.
What?
Yeah.
That's mental.
So yeah, that's interesting. That he's trying to be a 200 millionaire when he's only a 60 millionaire. What a dick.
That shocks me.
Well, and just to add to the story a little bit, I mean, I've heard some things lately. I've heard that there's this woman fighting for her life right now, or someone just died again, because there was a whole bunch of people hurt that were in ICUs that still hadn't died from this thing, and they're dying now. So, as far as the lawsuits go, as far as Travis Scott goes, I mean, obviously they went back with the whole, oh, you're in our thoughts and prayers. You're in our thoughts and prayers. Well, it's going to take a lot more than that. I've heard he's going to pay for everybody's funeral expenses, which is great. But it's still going to take a lot more than that. The promoters, everybody that put on the show, they're all just going to not make any money off of this. Every bit of money that they made off of this Astroworld thing will go to this tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whatever happens after this tragedy, couple of things. Artist gets up on stage, says, if anybody misbehaves out here, if anybody pushes forward, if we have any kind of bullshit out here like this,
I'm walking off.
Then I'm walking off. I'm not doing anything anymore. You know?
Yeah. We
don't need this bullshit. This is crap. Fuck all you that do this, you know, whatever. And they need to just put it out there in the beginning, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, to do this. Who knows if they will, but whatever. It was a tragedy. I feel for everybody who's there, because I've been in situations where it's been kind of like that. It's been a little bit crazy, but it's never been to the point of I've feared for my life.
Yeah.
You know, feared being crushed, feared being stepped on.
Scary thinking about it, isn't it? Really scary.
Yeah, but on to some lighter stuff here. Let's do some what you watching real quick, okay? What do you think?
I watched the movie last night.
Okay.
An actor I admire. I don't think I've seen a bad movies of his yet. So this popped up on my Apple TV, and it was Finch, the new Tom Hanks movie.
Okay.
So yeah, I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting really. I knew it was him, a robot, and a dog, basically. So
you saw the trailer or something?
I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, okay.
I saw the poster.
Okay.
And that was it. And on the poster is him, a robot, and a dog.
Yeah.
And so I watched the movie yesterday. And I have not too much to say about it. It was basically Castaway mixed with WALL-E with Borat sprinkled in.
Sure. Okay.
Was my take on it.
So Castaway.
Yep.
Mixed with WALL-E.
Yep.
Mixed with Borat.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sure, I know you've seen it, and you probably don't understand why I'm saying Borat. Or do you?
I'm not. No, I'm not really.
Well, basically, Tom Hanks is alone by himself, which is Castaway.
Okay.
There's a robot in it, searching for shit, WALL-E, and the extra robot that he builds has fucking Borat's voice.
You're right.
Like I watched it with
it definitely wasn't.
No, it wasn't
Sacha Baron Cohen's
It wasn't
voice,
full on Sacha Borat, but it was fucking Borat.
Yeah.
Like my wife was like, "Did they not focus group this shit? This sounds exactly like Borat."
That is funny.
Tom Hanks is like talking to this guy, the robot who comes up. He was called Jeff, and the robot's like, "It's nice. I like you very much. I want to be your friend."
That's so funny because I didn't think about that at the time, but now that you're mentioning that, it is so nailed.
And every time a robot would speak, we were just cracking up. We couldn't believe it. But I don't know what you thought of the movie. It was a nothing burger for me. Like, I love Hanks, and this was shit. It was dog shit. There was no story.
Let me ask you this. In the end,
yeah,
okay, and I'm not going to try and spoil it for anybody, but did you even come close to shedding a tear?
No.
Not at all?
I thought it was pathetic.
Okay. Well, I had a different experience.
Really?
Okay. I mean, a little bit. Not all, I agree with a lot of what you're saying.
You know what? The whole premise of the movie is fucking ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
Can I say it without ruining it?
I mean, you could set it up.
Like, the whole premise of the movie is Hanks wants to keep his dog alive, and is more worried about the dog, and like his happiest, like he is so happy when the dog learns to fucking retrieve a ball and give it back to the robot.
Yeah. There's a lot of emotion. Well, this is what Apple TV Plus is doing these days.
And Hanks is the only fucking speaking role in the movie.
It's like
Borat.
It's like how Subaru has gone with like all feelings in their ads rather than like showing what the car can do and stuff like that, because it is the most badass car ever now. You know, Subarus are just awesome cars for everything, but it's all about the dogs driving it around and the feeling you get of the dog dropping the kid off at school and stuff like that, right? It's the same kind of a thing. I went into it with, some good expectations because it's Tom Hanks. It's an apocalyptic movie. I like that kind of stuff. But I was also watching it with my 9-year-old.
Right.
Okay? So he was really excited about watching it. He wanted to watch it because we watched the trailer together, and he was into it. But I felt the exact same way you did. I didn't like the voice. I didn't compare it to Borat, which I should have. But still, I still had that, like, this annoying voice, like this annoying robot, and then at the end, I did choke myself up once or twice. I'm not going to say why, but I did choke myself up once or twice in the end. But yes, afterwards, I think it was the next day, my son came to me. He's like, let's watch Finch again. And I'm like, no. Yeah. I'm not going to watch Finch again. Sorry.
There's so many holes in the plot as well.
There is.
So many.
There are so many. There are so many. And we can go on and on. I mean, we go back and forth about, like, because there was just certain parts where you're like, wait a second. That would never have happened.
Well, and the dude drove from St. Louis, Missouri to San Francisco without gassing up once, and he's driving in an RV.
That's one of the things that even my son,
that's doing bad mileage.
Even my son said, "Is that thing powered by solar power?" And I'm like, "It can't be.
No, it can't be. It's
Where's
not possible.
Where's he going? They never touched on it.
No,
he never stopped at a gas station.
No. They did have one gas canister doing a little bit at one time, but to drive that far,
they did.
The RV would have to be just full of gas canisters.
Yeah. There's a lot more that we could talk about actually, and go back and forth a little bit. So
that's all I've watched.
Finch, worth watching once, just for the experience. Because if it's Apple TV Plus, you're watching it for free, basically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I wouldn't pay.
I wouldn't
pay $15 to go to the movie theater.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
You think Hanks just did it as a money grab?
Definitely.
Yeah. Because he usually only does good movies.
Yes.
So he's like, here's 20 mil. Okay, I'll do this shit role.
Well, just watch Jedi.
Yeah.
Something will be up for an Academy Award for that movie.
No chance.
No chance.
No.
That's what I say too. But just watch. No, something will be. Yeah, that's where we're at.
The dog. You know what? The dog was a really good actor.
It was.
If there was an Academy Award for Best Animal Actor, that dog would nail it.
Yep.
He was very good at fetch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I watched Dune. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it in the theater. I watched it at home.
Very good. Because it's on HBO Max.
Because it's on HBO Max.
Yep.
And I was, because I don't really remember the old Dune too much.
Never saw it. Never heard of it.
But I was really young when I saw it before, and I didn't get any of it. So this, you could just kind of wipe that out of my memory. This is the Dune that I know now, and this is the one I'm going to go with.
Was this released in theaters as well?
It was.
It was.
Simultaneously.
And it would have done well because that actor next to your head is Timothy Chalamet, right?
Yeah.
And
we got a bunch of other actors.
And he's pretty hot with the kids right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, your head is covering Zendaya, right? Is that right?
Zendaya's in there. Yeah. That's actually, I think, Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
But Zendaya's in it.
And she's got a huge fan base.
Yeah,
and
we got Oscar Isaacs right here. And we got Thanos himself, Josh Brolin, right there.
It's a big cast. I remember when this came out, there was some kind of controversy because all of Zendaya's fan base went to see it, and she's in a movie for 7 minutes.
Oh, dude. My daughter, she loves Zendaya.
Yeah.
By the way, my kids watched the whole movie, front to back. Okay? And they didn't fall asleep.
Wow.
They didn't really stray away. There's so much dialogue in this movie, too. It's not all action.
Right.
The cinematography and the scale of the shooting that they do on this movie is crazy.
Huh.
Like, if you just watch it for just the pure cinematography of it, it's worth it. There's tons of dialogue. It's a lot of setup. It's like, because there's two versions. This is Dune Part 1.
Yeah, there's already.
And they're coming out with a Dune Part 2. Yeah. But this is like a full setup of what to do. And Zendaya pops up every once in a while as like a memory. And then all of a sudden she shows up in the end. But the whole entire time, my daughter's like, when's Zendaya coming in? If she doesn't come in the next 10 minutes, I'm walking out of this room.
But she stayed watching.
She's coming.
Yeah.
She's coming. I'm like, she's coming. But there was enough to keep you going. And I mean, I like the whole cast. I like everybody who's in the cast. But in the end, it was just a setup for the new one, and I'm into it. I'll definitely see the second one.
Is it worth a watch?
It is.
Okay.
It's definitely worth the watch more than Finch, even though it's the same type of movie. I mean, they're all in this kind of apocalyptic world. But you know who shows up in this movie that I didn't even know was in it that you might like? I'm not sure if you like him or not, but Javier Bardem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He pops up in this movie.
He's a very good actor.
He's a very good actor, and he plays a cool role in this movie. And he comes up later, too, so he's going to be a bigger part in the next one, too.
Okay.
So, but I really like watching that guy.
I might watch it then.
Yeah. But definitely go watch it if you can. Doesn't matter if you see it in the theater. It'll be better in the theater, but you don't have to. And then I also started watching the second season of The Morning Show.
Ugh.
Okay? First season of The Morning Show, my wife and I were all about it. It was a good show. It was very, 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 intense. I felt exactly what it was like to be in a news studio and to have the dynamic of everything. There was a bit of wokeness in there,
Of course,
but
there
it
was.
wasn't. But it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a season 2. They have decided to go completely woke. The acting is just totally off. Reese Witherspoon has turned into just this person that she's not.
Right.
Jennifer Aniston's the same. I don't say anything bad about her. She's the same as she was in the first one. But they've just got this dynamic now of wokeness that I can't get over.
Yeah.
It's too much. Apple TV Plus is going too much into the feelings, into the wokeness, and it's not reality.
Yeah.
It's the first season was I got into it because I felt like it was real. This one doesn't feel real. It feels like everybody's overacting. Reese Witherspoon is especially overacting in this. She's turned into this complete bitch. That she's like America's Sweetheart. Like she can't play that role, And she doesn't stop. Like you're like, okay, just give it a rest for a minute, Give the bitchness a rest for a minute. She never gives it a rest.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the first season. I tried.
Yeah.
We did 2.5 episodes, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
But then, I can't take anything with Aniston anyway because I don't like her.
I don't like her.
Yeah. So, as a person, not as an actress.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, then we'll move on from that one right now.
Yeah. So I was watching the Rams and the Titans game on the weekend, and they held the camera on a shot of Paris and her latest
I
fiance
saw that, yeah.
for the longest time possible.
She was in a Rams jersey, right?
Yeah. But they held it, and they spoke about them for the longest time, and I had it on mute, so I didn't hear what they were talking about. But then I realized during a commercial break, they showed a commercial for Paris's latest reality show, which is on the Peacock Network, which is NBC, and the game, Sunday Night Football, was on NBC as well.
So this is where we're at.
So they've chucked them free tickets to stand there so they can promote this new show.
And then get to that one point. Yeah, got it.
So Paris has a new show coming out called Paris in Love.
Okay.
Which is her and her latest fiance.
The guy that was at the
guy who was at the game with her.
Yeah.
And he is called Carter something or other.
We'll just call him Carter.
Carter. Carter is his name.
Okay.
And it made me think, what? I've not looked through my Paris archives in a little bit. So I got looking through my Paris archives. But before we get to my Paris archives, how many fiancés do you think she has had?
Oh my God. I'm right off the top of the bat.
I Googled it.
I'm going to say 4.
Bang, boom. She has had 4 fiancés, and then obviously a gazillion relationships. But at one point, do you remember she was dating a guy called Paris as well?
Yes.
That was hilarious. It used to be so much fun for shooting Paris in Paris. Paris over the shoulder.
Yes.
They both just look round.
Did you get them?
At some point, but I didn't put it in this bunch of pictures coming up.
Okay.
I just went through just a bunch of, I've got 17 pages of fucking pictures of Paris Hilton.
Yeah. I probably have
on
similar.
my old PCN archive. So I just took a quick flip through, and this next picture is probably one of my favorites that I took of Paris. It's quite a funny. Well, it's not funny. It's a different picture because it's not. The celebrity is not the focus of the picture.
Okay.
It was her. She went shopping at Ours. Remember when Ours used to be up on Sunset?
Yeah.
So I thought this was was going to be a good picture. As obviously that's how I've taken it.
That's a great picture.
I'm not standing up with the rabble with the rest of the guys.
Yeah. Do you have another person that's in the rabble?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's coming down one side of the steps. There's 8, 10, 12 paps on the other side.
Wow.
Video cameras, all sorts of stuff. And I've stood back taking the picture. There's balloons going over the frame as well.
Wow.
It's a nice fucking frame. Like
that's a great frame.
That should be hung in the Smithsonian or
something. That's that is an insane picture. It shows the time. Because this doesn't happen anymore.
No, I think that's 2005.
Yeah.
Like Halloween 2005.
Ben and Jen would probably pull this off now.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah. And she was doing the famous Paris slow walk
down the stairs.
Down the stairs. And so, I was digging and digging through the archive. And this next frame, we followed her from the house on King's Road up to Runyon Canyon.
Okay.
And she was cycling up Runyon Canyon with 30 photographers running up the canyon in front of her, some lagging behind. She does the pose looking over downtown.
Yeah.
She stops for a sip of water.
Wow.
She waves at everybody. It was just a huge photo call, basically. But that was the old days with Paris. It was so much fun. And, if she had anything to promote, whether it be a T-shirt, jewelry, fucking earrings, shoes, all she had to do was walk out her front door.
Well, it's like you never, because a lot of the celebrities come out now and you sit there and you're following them or you're trying to be discreet or maybe they don't even know you're there. And you're like, if they see me, are they going to be mad? Is he going to be upset? Are they going to give it up? Like, how are they going to do it? You're constantly wondering that the person you're going to get when you stop and you start to shoot them.
Yeah.
With Paris, you knew that it was just going to be awesome no matter what happened.
Yeah, and you also knew that if you were the only person outside the house, she's not leaving. She's
She's
waiting till she
waiting
sees
for more people.
Till she sees 5 paps outside.
Yeah. I remember she put a camera like across the street.
Yeah.
Like up the street so she could see the whole street.
Mad. Yeah. Absolute madness. And then Malibu, obviously, she always used to go to Malibu. Yeah.
There we go.
Now you can't click on the other ones.
That's okay, we'll see.
But yeah, she used to go to Malibu every 4th of July and just give it up with the dogs walking along the beach and all that kind of fun stuff. And then there's, tons of other pictures I have as well, which is just complete savagery, which we'll put up on another podcast some other time.
Well, when we talk, we'll put it up on the Instagram.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Paris again, I'm sure. I think actually she gets married on Thursday. This Thursday coming up.
I
saw aerials, I think, of the house today.
Yeah.
Which had all sorts of shit going on. And like when I did see that she was doing this Paris in Love show, I went through her IMDb as well to see how many other reality shows she had done.
Oh my God.
Do you have a guess on Paris Hilton reality shows?
15?
No, it's way less.
Oh, okay.
But some of the names, Paris Hilton, My New BFF, which was like, and she actually did like a season of My New BFF, or My New British BFF.
Yeah.
Where she went to London to find a new best friend.
Because was Sophia Richie, or not Sophia, but Nicole Richie.
The Simple Life was one of them.
Simple Life was one of them, and then Kim Kardashian was a bestie at some point. Yeah.
And then she's got a Netflix show as well, which I didn't know until today. Cooking with Paris.
Oh my God.
She has a cooking show as well.
She's probably a very good cook.
Yeah, but she, just a gazillion reality shows. And Paris, for your next reality show, stick us on there.
Yeah, I got it right here. Paris and the Paps.
Paris and the Paps. Or Paris and the Paparazzi Podcast.
I mean, that story needs to be told with us. I mean, it needs to be told.
That'd be great.
If we had Paris right here in between us and we just would shoot the shit about this whole entire time when it happened, that would be a great show, I think.
She has a podcast as well.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll try and cross over some stuff with her.
How good would that be?
Yeah. And, the first time I did shoot Paris Hilton was in Malibu.
There you go.
Yeah.
It used to be so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. I think it was with 25 other guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
We used to just line up. It was like a red carpet on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was coming out of, what's it?
Tony Taverna Tony's?
No, this was the shop right next door to there. The Moon, Blue Moon?
Blue Moon?
No.
Blue Moon?
No, it's the big shop. They had one on
Planet Blue.
Planet Blue.
Yes, it's not even there anymore.
She was coming out of Planet Blue.
I don't think Planet Blue is even around.
It's not.
Yeah,
no.
incredible.
I mean, there might be one left somewhere.
Maybe.
I don't know where it is. Well, that's the end of this episode, I gotta say. And if we've offended anybody on this episode, we do apologize, Jedi.
Yes.
Handing it to you.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Well, you're my subscribe guy.
Oh yeah.
You're our subscribe guy.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to say like and subscribe anymore because I think the people that watch and listen have already liked and subscribed. So I'm just going to say, tell your friends. If you do like it, spread the news. Spread it. Tell everybody about us.
Yeah.
We've got a very consistent fan base who listen and watch every single week. Our numbers are very consistent, but we just want more. So tell your friends, tell your neighbor, share us on social media. We want everybody to listen to us.
Yeah. Whether it's good or bad.
We think we're good. So tell everybody about us.
Well, we do what we do. We just tell the truth here. We just give our stories and give you that side of the business that you didn't think you know. Yeah.
So let's go. Let's go and drink beer.
All right. Well, take care and be well.
Lates.